Get ready for the ultimate dose of inspiration and knowledge with the Give Me 5 podcast. Host Chris Gilmour shares actionable tips on a different topic each episode. Tune in now and elevate your life with Chris Gilmour.
Welcome to another episode of the Give Me 5 podcast. I'm your host, Chris Gilmour, and again, Josh Smith. Welcome, Josh.
Hey, how we going?
Mate, we're a little bit more cash today, aren't we?
Relaxed day.
Yeah, it's a casual Friday or something. So
Who knows what day it is?
people
They're,
probably...
they're all work days. They're all...
Yeah, we're 24/7. Some people probably haven't even seen me wear a hat before. So I'm like, oh, girls,
Doesn't
wear a
happen a
hat.
lot.
No, it covers up the greys, mate. You know, you should try it.
I decided a long time ago that I wasn't going to make any attempt to get grey hair. I think that's a you start down that path and it's just
It never ends. So, well, I'm about to shave my hair. So
actually
for the greatest
for
shave.
that I was thinking we should probably do that on the podcast.
We're going to film it.
That's
Where we'll film it.
Yeah.
So we, for the listeners listening, we have signed up for the greatest shave.
Yep.
To
When is that?
next week, man. Next week.
Is it?
Yeah, it will be. So a couple more days. So you're going to be a skinhead. I'm going to be a skinhead.
Yep.
I think some of the girls are going to colour their hair orange or something like that. I don't know how much money we've raised. A couple $100 every single cent.
Yep.
To the greatest shave.
It's all a good cause.
Absolutely. So my hair will grow back in 2 weeks. So yours not as much. Yours not as much because you're a little bit thin in some places.
No, not really.
You are, man. You are.
Really?
But it's always been like that.
Yeah.
Has always been like that. But today's topic, mate. What are we getting into? It's non-real estate. Today we're cash. This is going to be a non-real estate.
Well, I think the thing that came up. I don't even know how it came up in conversation around everything that's gone on recently with the bullets, some of the changes and things there, and that was, probably a good thing to touch on. The relationship with the bullets. Well, to start off with, for a lot of people might not know, tell us a little bit about how the sponsorship deal with the bullets came to happen, and where that started.
Interesting. Okay, so a lot of people ask me this question, actually, like, why are we tied up with the bullets and, how did that actually? So, it's probably going to be a good podcast. So I can give you some insight of, especially why we do it and why, and the benefits of it. But basically, so obviously for you and I, motorsport is our number one sport.
Yes.
Has been for our entire life.
Yep.
I've known Josh. I've been racing with Josh since I was 10 years of age. So we've known each other for a very.
We should probably address that in one conversation another time.
Well,
what the whole background story, how that all works.
Yeah. He's a dickhead and I was really good. So has it changed? Do you reckon it's changed?
I don't know. It could be.
So, but look, it's basketball's probably my second love.
Yeah.
I grew up in the Jordan era.
Yeah.
Everyone knows I collect Jordans, and I don't know how many.
For anyone that hasn't ever been into our office, Chris's actual office has got Jordans all over the walls.
Yeah, I've got signed basketballs and merch, and I've even got a Jordan quote in our main hallway in our office. So basketball's always just been a passion. I used to play it, love the sport, love watching it. Funny enough though, never went to a game, never been to an NBL game or an NBA game ever in my entire life. And we went, my best mates, I got these $15 tickets. They're nosebleed tickets at Nissan Arena, which is at Mount Gravatt, and do you want to come along a couple of years ago? And I'm like, yeah, why not? So went along, and we it was the Bullets versus Melbourne Phoenix. And we absolutely just got trampled. He's like, man, we were doing really well until you started watching Gilmour. And I'm like, we absolutely got smoked. And there was this one player in particular, number 55. I'd love to get him on our podcast whenever he's up here, but Mitch Creek. And I reckon it was love at first sight. You know what I mean?
Man crush.
Absolutely. Shannon Knowles probably my biggest man crush.
Yes.
But Mitch Creek's probably bordering on right there.
Right there?
Absolutely. And he's a good looking fella. I give him that. He's athletic. But the way he played ball, you know what I mean? He just stood out for me on the court. I'm like, man, who's this dude that's playing for Melbourne? This guy's all over it. Then you do some research and stuff like that. He, had a stint in the NBA and stuff like that.
Was that right?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. And then, And then I started following him on Instagram. Noticed that he was a bit of a loose cat, you know, jumping out of aeroplanes during the week, and then he loved his motorbikes and his motorsport, and then we sort of connected, and then it's just been a connection from that point. But how the Bullets came about was my boys play tennis, right?
Yep.
And the Bullets did these basketball camps, and my best mate's son Orlando, who plays, he was going to these camps, so Blake's like, oh, I want to go too, and it sort of just went from there, and so they were just school basketball camps, and I'm standing there.
So he went off and loved it straight out.
Yeah. So like he's enjoyed it. He's competitive. He likes playing sport. Yeah, not overly fantastic at it. He's much better at tennis. Yeah. But it was new to him. Yeah. So a new sport, and we started watching it on TV, and over the last couple of years, they don't watch any motorsport whatsoever. Have no interest in motorsport whatsoever. And which is fine. And I was standing there because I'm one of these sort of dads. Like, if I've got the time, I want to be there for when they're doing sport. Because you and I both grew up with dads.
Yep, absolutely.
Sacrificing their entire life for us. For motorsport and money and time. And I look back now and go, how the hell did my dad get all of this time off? Because we were traveling every week. Yeah. Around Australia to a different go-kart track, you were the
well, it's easy for us. We had this shop.
Yeah, that was it had to. That was your business. But Dad worked a job. And I was in primary school and high school at that time. And anyway, so I like to be involved with the kids' sports and be there and just be present at some point. And luckily for our job, I can work anywhere. I can work in the car, I can work at a cafe, I can work in the office, or at home, wherever. And I was standing there, and this guy come up and he goes, "Oh, you're Chris Gilmour." And I'm like, "Yeah, I am." And I'm like, "How?" And he's like, "Mate, see billboards everywhere. I live in Parkinson." Yep. And actually, turns out we manage his investment property. And so we're chatting away, and then he's sort of knowing we're in sales and what we do. So we had that sort of connection, and we're just chatting. And then he comes and he says, "Oh, mate, you should come and meet our head of commercial." And I'm like, oh, yeah, whatever. I'll go and meet as many people. That's our job, is networking. Yep. And I met up with Jake and Michael, who were in commercial at that time with the Bullets, and just hit it off with them. Yep. And, and they're like, oh, you should become a sponsor. You know what I mean? They're straight away into me like, we want some money. We want money. And I'm like, oh, look, mate, I'm no way, mate. This is an NBL team. Like, this is a national league. I'm like, mate, we're not in this field.
We're just, we're just a little...
Mate, I look after the local footy team and soccer and whatever, and cricket, whatever it might be. We'll always help wherever we can because, I received a lot of help over growing up as well. So I know what it's like. And how hard it is to raise money and get money. Anyway, one thing led to another. I don't know if it was just my ego and I was like just blind, like just went into it completely blind.
What?
Your ego? Yeah, no ego. Anyway, they arranged this meeting. We went to a cafe somewhere at Carindale and they pitched us, basically. So we sat down and they pitched us and said, this is what we can do. They sort of asked what I wanted, and I said, look, I'd love to be involved with the kids and give back to community with the kids because my dad was always around, just give young kids a go. If they're underprivileged or haven't got the money to be in motorsport, give them the go, you know what I mean? So I probably have carried that legacy on a bit for Dad. And so I'm like, what can we do around the kids and what programs? And they're like, well, your kids do the Big Shots community program. You can sponsor that. And I'm like, well, what does that entail? Well, it will do this and it'll do that, and we have some banners here. But, it will go out and it will sort of help around, I think it was around 6,000 kids, one, getting them active, getting them into a team, getting some social skills.
That's like a come along and have a go sort of.
Yeah, just come us learn the game and see how you go, sort of thing. And so it just sort of led to that. So our first year was a community partner. And I'm like, oh, and I then went from the marketing side of things was, hang on, we got 5,000 seats. I could probably do some stuff here with some of our clients at work, Yeah. We have our Client for Life program where we hire out the cinemas, bring 700 people every 8 weeks to the cinemas and put on a great cinema, food, popcorn. Yep. So I just took that and went, how can I bring that over to here?
Yeah.
to give more an experience, network with people, give back to the people who have just spent money with us for our services and sold with us, buy through us.
Yep.
We manage their properties. Because for me, it's all about just keep giving back, and you see it come back to you tenfold, always does. But so sort of love the sport, but then went also business brain as well too around that. So one thing led to another, signed the contract, done the deal. We then had 4 games to the season where I could bring 30 people.
Yes.
Right, so clients. And it just went from there. Like everyone that came was like, man, that is the best night. Like if you've never been to a basketball game.
Because that was one of the very early games that that all of us as the staff.
So I took all the staff was first one. So we took all our staff and everyone that works at APG just to get a feel and say, hey, this is what we're sort of a part of at the moment. Anyway, I'm sitting there and I see all these other signs and our LED splashes up. So it was like we got a little bit of TV time. So the commercial side of things was quite good. As a year progresses, your relationships get better. They become more understanding of your business. I understand a bit more of their business. And I think they just fuel the ego. They really, which is easy for me. You know what I mean? And there was a point there where I'm like, all right, I've invested this amount of money for the last year with you guys. I'm like, to go to the next step, I'm just going to ask the question. What would it take to have all of my signs around the stadium, but I want to be with the kids?
It's going to be ridiculous about it. What would that look like?
What? See that spot where Bonjay and T-Marks is? What would it cost to have all properties group there on the jersey?
What would my name bigger look like?
And again, so we sat down around the table and we negotiated a deal. And that deal had to be beneficial for both of us. Right? Where is my money going? What would that entail and what does that look like? The more money we spend, the better players, the better results. Right? And that'd be one big reason for the the budget that the Bullets have compared to some of these other teams is a third, even half. That they just don't have the budget. They need more people like us, but to spend more money so they can buy better players, get better results. But for me, it doesn't really matter if they win or lose, to be really fair. Like, I don't really give a shit where they come on the ladder. People are like, oh, your Bullets are doing shit. I'm like, sorry? My name's on the jersey.
I've been along, 3 or 4 times now, I think, and it's a good night. So the experience part of going
absolutely
is good, and great if they. Because I think they won I think they won the first one that we went to. It's like, this is going to be great. This is going to be awesome.
Absolutely.
Not so much, but that's fine.
We won 8th of the season that just gone, which was not fantastic. We finished 9th out of 10th, but when I sat down, we looked at it, and I think Michael, the head of commercial at that time, was really clever in the way how he pitched it, because he sort of understood our brand and what I was trying to do. I didn't want to be a national brand. You know what I mean? Yes, we're going to get national exposure from it. But it was more just community based. Right, we could tap into their community, their network. They could tap into ours. And we come up with a figure, and I signed a 3-year deal at that number for each season. It's a considerable, it's a shit ton of money. Right, let's face it.
I've always assumed it was. You don't get to put your name on like that sort of thing for.
It was significantly more than what we paid as a community partner, but we're getting so much more. And for me, it was return on investment. So we're now on the kit. They even asked if we want to be principal sponsor, right? So at the front and the whole.
That's another level again.
What we're paying is double that again. I'm like, settle down, man. We sell some homes, but I ain't stupid. I just wanted to be on the kit, So, and I'll talk about like when you go to a game, and it's quite funny. I'll talk about a real estate agent with his kids wearing our kit. They turn up to the game and they're wearing a Brisbane Bullets jersey. He works and owns another office, but it's my logo.
Really?
And his kids are wearing the jersey with my name on the back.
I wonder if that grinds.
I think it does. and I always just jab him every time about it. But for me, when I see kids wearing our jersey, you walk into a Rebel store anywhere in Australia and they're selling the merch and my name is there. All Properties Group. It's kind of surreal but it's also like kind of like I feel proud of the brand and what we've been able to do.
Yeah.
But like we negotiated the deal, and it was probably, I still think I was a better negotiator personally, doing this every single sort of day.
Yeah.
I got the deal that, what they, and they threw in some extras. Then I changed the deal right at the last minute, basically, and said, now I want this, but I'm now only going to pay this, sort of thing. So there was some spots on the actual court. So when you look at the court for TV, and I went back through and looked at all the replays, looked at the camera angles, learnt to see how it would look on TV. So we have the back wall.
Shoot it sort of.
Yeah. So you know how we got the back wall? So they're shooting 3 throws. Yeah. We've got our name. That was all very strategic. Yeah. I knew where I wanted based on camera angles to get the maximum exposure on TV for the brand. So it wasn't just...
I suppose like having watched enough basketball, you understand what it looks
absolutely like. So we've got the polls on when, let's say if they dunk or do a shot when they're dunking, we're there. We're the only ones there. When they're shooting free throws, I have the 2 big windows in the back. So no matter what, they're shooting the 3 throw, we're on TV the entire time. And then some others there, and then on the LED. So, but there was these 2 spots on the baseline on the court that were still available. And I jokingly said, hey, I'll give you this and I'll take them as well too. And they then went, okay, right? They came back with a complete different figure. And I'm like, no, the figure that I said, including GST, is all I am paying for the whole thing. And that's what I want. And I'll sign the 3-year deal right now. You know what I mean? So we've done a deal and then I changed the deal. And I think, and that's now how that court looks. And so I think I got value for money. And that's what, as a sponsor, you want that.
It's got to be. It has to be value for money. Otherwise, what's the point?
Absolutely. We get a lot of perks with that as well too. So we get a lot of national airtime, everything like that. Our brand is now recognised around Australia. People now recognise All Properties Group. Oh, you were the Bullets, so it's a topic. But the biggest thing, why I did it, I get 50 seats to every game. Right,
so I was going to say, like, that's the ones that I've been to, like from the client's perspective.
Absolutely.
They have a great time, and it's such a different thing that no one else does, and the idea that, not necessarily that someone maybe is going to go, I will choose to sell my house with All Properties Group solely because I get that, but it is a nice extra.
Absolutely. And it's also just our way of saying thanks. You've just spent $20,000-$30,000 with our company. At least we could
night out.
Like, these agents that are giving their people a chopping board or a candle. Like, come on. You know what I mean? Like, I'm about giving experiences. And we've done that for the last 10 years with our Client for Life program. This year we've just stepped it up. We got clients coming to Jason Singh's Heavens Tour, so we've got music tickets, to events. We haven't even spoken about South Logan Magpies sponsorship. That's the other one that we've done as well too, which we can get into. But, the Bullets thing for me was I got I'm the largest ticket holder for the Brisbane Bullets.
Okay. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. We are the largest ticket holder for the Brisbane Bullets. So we take 50 clients to every single game, right? And what do they get for that? Car park for free, drinks, beer, wine,
ice creams at
food,
halftime,
ice cream, dessert, food, like the whole, it's all catered for. Like what an experience for my clients, right? And then after the game, they get photos with the players, signatures with the players, and we just we got trampled.
Like, that was I thought that was pretty cool the first time, like when I saw that, and after the game and the players came out and hung out.
So we have our own section. We have our own section where we seat, which are amazing tickets that I chose. I specifically chose that location and seats as well too. So when our clients are looking down the court, all they see is All Properties Group. So everything, I strategically have done everything for a reason. Like people just think it all just looks like that. No, I have actually really thought about every single position of where we're sitting, where are our signs, the time, what's coming up on the screen, everything like that, just for maximum exposure. But these we get trampled, but our clients walk away and go, Chris, best night ever. They don't give a shit about the score. We just lost by 30. You know what I mean? Like they got fed, cost them nothing. They bring their kids. They scream. They get some photos with some Brisbane Bullets players, some 7-foot players. Some of them are NBA players as well. They get some signatures, they buy some merch, they walk away happy, and they post it on social media. They send me messages. Best night ever. Thank you so much.
And they've had an experience that not everyone gets to have. There's a level of exclusivity about it.
Or go sell with Joe and get your chopping board.
Yeah.
Like, come on. You know what I mean? So that's why I've done it.
Yeah.
We've stepped it up again for next season. So I'll change my contract now for next season.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So what I've done is I've taken less seats. Still the number one ticket holder.
Yeah.
Okay. But I've cut that 50 down to 35.
Okay.
Okay. And what I've included, so I've got 15 less tickets.
Yep.
But now I have 8 courtside tickets.
That makes sense.
So now they are going to be on the court.
Yeah.
Front row on the court where they can be high-fiving players, hearing what the players are saying. Like when I sat courtside, like I had a player kick me in the head. You know what I mean? Clint Steinel from the Jack Jumpers, Tasmania, like busted open. I was bleeding, everything. Like we were in the action, man. You know what I mean? And like, you know, and like my mate who has 2 courtside tickets is $8,000 for the season for his 2 tickets.
Right?
Absolutely, man. Like if you go to an LA Lakers game, mate, like they're like the prices of some of those front tickets, like
they're like ridiculous.
$50,000, $100,000, depending on who they're playing, right? Now this is NBL, right?
Yeah.
They can't charge that, but but again, I've stepped it up, so I've taken less tickets, right, for next season, but courtside. So now they're going to have.
I've never been.
There you go.
So you'll need to slide me into one of those.
It's only limited seats. Oh, you just didn't sell a home. You didn't pay anything to sell that home. So our clients will come first.
Yeah, of course.
But, you know, saying
anyone gets COVID in the last second, I'll just slide in.
Still a thing. That is. Wow. So, but for me, that's why I think I invested into the Bullets because I invested in the people.
Yeah.
And I still say that, you know, like they copped, like we come into the year where they have just been smashed. We had 3 coaches in 10 weeks. We had all this turmoil within the club.
Yeah.
Being involved in the club and then watching all these wankers on social media writing about what they don't even know is going on. And I'm just reading and just going, guys, if you actually really knew.
Yeah.
Right. So I was privy to a lot of information on the inside, being a major partner of them, like they're keeping us in the loop, you know, what's going on. And I don't have to agree with every decision.
Yep.
But I'm not running that business.
Yeah.
My logo is on that bit and affiliated with the club. That's it. Yeah. The way that they run that club, that's on them. Yeah. You know what I mean? So there were some decisions made during the year where I'm like, I didn't think they were the right decisions. Yeah. You know, and there were some other ones there that were great. And you know, do I agree with some of the players that we have? No, I don't. But that's me. That's fair.
That's not your bit.
Nah.
You're not involved in those.
And I'm just a fan. You know what I mean? So what I'm there for is to give our clients an amazing night, an experience that they will want to continue to come back. Like some of our clients have never been to basketball. They leave and they go, I'm going to be a season ticket holder next year. That was the best thing I've ever seen live.
Yep.
So for me, that's how that Brisbane Bullets come about. So
I went a number of years ago. It just makes me think. I went a number of years ago to a Brisbane Lions game.
Yep, at the Gap.
Last minute, like when bought tickets, you know, like the cheapest tickets, and I thought this is going to be like trash seats, and they were right the way at the front. Yeah, and it was, and I don't know. I assume that it was a strategy decision that they sort of went, hang on a second, like save these seats, you know, almost that.
Absolutely,
like, let's drop people into the best thing.
Your $15 tickets,
and they go
a third row.
I had no idea. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So the problem with the Brisbane Bullets, what they're facing at the moment is it's a government-owned building that they run out of. They're the only national team in Australia without a home.
Yeah, okay.
In any code. Broncos have Suncorp.
Yeah.
You know, the netball, wild people, whatever they're called, wild nets or whoever.
Yeah, I'm not sure what.
Flames or whatever, the netball. That's Nissan Arena for them.
Yeah.
Brisbane Bullets hire they don't have a home ground. So, you know, so I've been lucky enough, met some of the owners. You know,
so they're going to look to try and walk you up the scale. And
I don't know when it's going to happen in 3 years.
You build a stadium. That'll be their play.
Absolutely. But they're looking at multiple venues right now, which they've asked our advice on around real estate and stuff. Met some of the owners and have had those sort of discussions. So we're pretty involved with them in the club. don't make any decisions, but they come to us and ask for some feedback, and I think they learn from us because we're a marketing company. How can they market better? And for me, I've now got a vested interest, right? So like there would have been times there, like I'm talking to the CEO Pete, or the GM at that time was Sammy McKinnon, who we've all grown up watching playing when he was playing for Australia and the Bullets back in the day and stuff. And we're at the game and we've got 4,000 people in the seats. And I'm like, there's 1,000 seats there that are empty, guys. We're like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like the year before I didn't give a shit. You know what I mean? Now
I'm paying this money. I want as many people.
Absolutely. I want as many eyeballs on it. I want to return on my investment. So we
also wanted that when the TV viewer comes in, that it looks full.
Absolutely.
Impact as well.
And so I've sort of got a vested interest now what the club's doing and how are we promoting the game and getting people to bums on seats, and there's been various ways, but they're quite restricted. And that's what a lot of people don't see, is they're quite restricted in the food. They have to buy the food because it's government owned. Queensland government owns this building. They're looking at buying or building their own stadium with a nightclub and restaurants and activities around it. So it's a precinct. That's what they do in America. So the Bullets are actually owned by a consortium of people, some NBA players and some business people over in the States. That's who owns them, right?
They've got a different way of doing things.
And it's big, and we don't have that. So I want to be a part of the Bullets, for a long time. I love the family, the people, the organisation, what they stand for, and I think that's why we partnered with them as well too, because we were looking at the Broncos. I'll put that on. Like we did look into that. What can we do in such, but that was again.
I was going to say, like that'd have to be a different price scale.
It's huge. Like the difference. So for me, the return on value and. And it was good. We got a couple of perks. Like I got flown down to Melbourne for the Andrew Gaze MVP night as being a major partner. So we're there with all the players, all the coaching staff and head office. And we was, in this massive gala on the red carpet with all of these superstars around us. Like that was like one of the best nights of my life.
I saw the photos and that was cool. That looks like a cool thing.
That was absolutely cool. That was one of the perks and stuff like that. But it's just a great organisation, win or lose. We're a Bullets fan from back in the day. Leroy Loggins lives up the road, and I see Leroy at my gym nearly every single day. You know what I mean? And and I think Brisbane has this culture, this heritage around the Brisbane Bullets. That back in the 90s, and when
it was a big deal.
It was huge.
Leaping Leroy and all
absolutely.
That,
sure. To come in at the later stage now and having that opportunity to be able to do that, I think is kind of cool. To be a part of that. And, just when you walk around, you see someone wearing the Bullets jersey and your logo's on the back, like it's a good ego stroke. Like, let's face it, you know what I mean? But we are paying for that.
Absolutely.
But it also, it brings value, and it brings values for all of our staff, all of my agents, all of you guys that...
Well, I certainly enjoyed like when I belong, for sure.
Yeah, but like the brand, we're not a big franchise group that's been around 100 years, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? But I don't see those guys. And that's why we're packing this punch. Like, no other real estate does this.
No. Well, that's like, I mean, even like across the board though, like, with the number of our other agents, like, like Nathan's got some sponsorships and things like in the area that he looks after. And so you mentioned the Magpies there earlier on. What's like, tell us a bit more about that.
I got stitched up. Right, Steve, if you're listening, you got stitched up, and I'll have, Steve's promised me one of the players. He's an ex-Broncos player, so he's going to come on and do a podcast. So everyone will know who he is, but I won't say who that is just yet. But he's one of the coaches there. But Steve is the new CEO of the South Logan Magpies, right? I knew about the team. Didn't know sort of really what they did.
Where are they based?
Up the road at Heritage Park.
Okay.
So why do you think I've done again? So they're local, right? And who we've sponsored or come on as one of the partners is the under-18s. Right? And the women's division.
Okay.
Right? So, so you got host plus the host cup, I think it is. So it's like QRL. So it's the one the NRL. So, and the South Magpies, they're the feeder club to the Brisbane Broncos.
Okay, so that was going to be my next question. They've got that relationship.
Yeah, so even though we were trying or looking into doing something with the Broncos, I couldn't at that scale, but we've come in sort of in that second tier.
Which is actually closer to like the actual like.
Well, it's more local
people in the
because it's up the road.
Yeah.
Absolutely, you know what I mean. It's here based in Logan. You know what I mean. And we want to get back to Logan, right? So, but how did that relationship start? Well, Steve was my neighbour.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, so we both built a house across the road from each other, and and have been friends ever since.
So how long ago was that?
That was 7 years ago, but I've known their family since primary school.
Yeah, okay.
Right, so a couple of my other mates, the way that family is tied up. Right, so there's been that long relationship. He stepped into this role now as CEO. He was one of the coaches there, and Steve is the nicest guy on the planet. Right, he's got all the time for everyone. Kids love him. Everyone loves Steve. He's just the most chilled out dude in the world.
Yep.
One thing I will say, when you sponsor a national team, everyone now asks you for sponsorship. Like, I would probably get 2-3 requests a week.
Yeah.
Right, from all different clubs.
Yep.
All different things, because they see you as a brand. They
go, okay, they're into that.
And I just reply, I'm really sorry. All my funds have gone, man. I'm really sorry.
It's spent.
You know what I mean? But we aligned with South Magpies. Again, they knew what, and we chatted around, what I was wanting to do and what we're doing with the Bullets. How can you guys accommodate and stuff like that? So we come up with a plan, and he's come through with a proposal. Couldn't really say no to it. Again, it is quite a lot of money. Nowhere near the Bullets, and it shouldn't be, because the value is not as high as what the Bullets is providing. But what the deal is we're on all the jerseys. We're on the back of the jerseys of all the women's division and every up to under 18s and below. Right. So again, helping the kids. And for me, it's the kids. Women's sport's becoming bigger, so we want to align our brand and say, hey, we're supporting women in sport as well too. They deserve every kudos as well too. They want to play the sport. So we've come on with that. But the perks that we get, so we get signage on the field, because all the fields are played, I think at West End and here at Heritage Park and the new fields. So there's all signage there. It is televised as well, so there's more TV time there with the QRL and stuff like that. So there's a bit of TV involved in that. We get a lot around their social media, and they have a huge following because they're a huge club.
Is there going to be any like the similar sort of like client?
Absolutely, that's
at the game stuff.
Yeah, but not there.
Okay.
With the Broncos. So we've got our first game this Friday night.
Yeah, okay.
That's why I asked you guys if you wanted to come.
Yeah.
So I'm bringing staff for the first one. So we've got Broncos versus Cowboys. So with our sponsorship, I now get tickets for clients.
Okay.
To now take. So
So
what I've done,
association with that gets you.
Absolutely. So what I've got is I've got tickets to every game, or every home game for the Brisbane Broncos.
Yep.
Okay. Where I can now bring clients. I get 2 corporate box games. So I'll pick the West Tigers, which is my team.
Of course.
Right. So round 5, we've got a corporate box fully catered for the whole lot. Great experience.
Yeah.
Lots of money to get a box.
Yes.
Right. And I've also taken the last, been able to negotiate. I'm a better negotiator than Steve.
Yeah.
I was able to get 2 games with corporate boxes. So I've taken the Melbourne Storm, which is the very last game for the Broncos at the end of the season. Right. I get to go, we get tickets for us and clients for the State of Origin lunch, and also 10 tickets to the State of Origin game as well too.
Really?
Absolutely. So there's kind of some extra perks that I've been able to slide into the deal, because I've gone, I just don't want to sponsor you and have you be on the jersey. I want to be able to say, hey, Cheryl, Craig, hey, I've got 4 tickets to the Broncos. Do you and your family want to go?
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to go.
So it's not just visibility. You've got that same level.
Absolutely. It's clients, again, client exposure, client networking, you know what I mean? A corporate box that we might have 10 of our best clients that have paid, that have sold 2 or 3 homes with us, you know what I mean? Give back to them, be in the box, network.
Yep.
So there's commercial value always. I've always got to look, it's like ego, whatever.
It's cool.
But I'm all about the commercial value. Where is it going to bring? What's it going to do? And at the end of it, I've only done a 1 year with Magpies, so we'll see how this season does. But it tied in really well, because the NBL season is really an off season for most sport
Yeah.
because it's October to February,
Yeah.
right? So Formula One's not on, rugby's not on,
You've got that.
soccer's not on, cricket's pretty much the summer sport, right? So it's basketball and cricket that you're competing with. Then it was like, well, we've now got this
That's
gap.
the reason why I'm big on American football. Is it's in cricket season.
Yeah, exactly. But we looked at it and went, well, there's a gap. There's 6 months there, and it tied in. It's rugby league. So now we've got exposure 365 days in the year across 2 different leagues, or you know what I mean. So that's sort of how that one come about. Yeah. And then obviously we do schools and other sporting clubs and stuff like that. But I'll probably go
to race car stuff, obviously.
Yeah, so we've sponsored Formula 3 as well too. So that's on the race cars and the series as well too. Again, that's on TV. So that's on Foxtel and stuff like that. So for me, we're now at a point where we're continuing to grow. We've got 4 or 5 offices, whatever we have. So we're now slowly coming into that national recognized brand. Do I want to go to Sydney? Do I want to go to Melbourne? Yeah. So what are those guys going to get if they come with All Properties Group? You know what I mean? As an office. Well, we're a national recognized brand now. Yeah. And I'm kind of proud of it. Like we're only a small company. Yeah. You know what I mean? But we pack a lot of punch against the big guys. And we sell a lot of homes. So, but for me, it's not about the money. It's about just giving back, and giving that experience back to the clients who
the people
are to us.
Again, those events that I've been along to, and those clients that I've spoken to, they all appreciate it. Like the comments that you get, the feedback that you get. Clearly it's something that they appreciate those experiences.
Yeah, well, like if we took a family of 4 wanted that same experience of the Brisbane Bullets, like if they were to buy tickets, car park, food. And the drinks and everything like that, it's like $500. Yeah, for a family to for that whole
3 hour sort of
Well, it's a 40-minute game.
Yeah, well that's it. By the time you 2 hours and absolutely before and a little bit after,
absolutely 3 days, maybe. So it's quite expensive, and I'm able to do 50 clients every game. Yeah, 700 people I brought to the Brisbane Bullets. Yep, that had an absolute wicked experience. Yeah, because of us. Yeah, but I only do it because they invested with us, so it's time we invested back into them. Yeah. And what will be the flow on from that? People are like, "Oh, do you get much from the Bullet sponsorship?" Well, you can't measure it yet. Yeah, no. So it's been a year. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like and I don't need to measure it. Yeah, because the commercial value of if I was to run ads with the amount of times that our logo is on the screen with the LED and stickers or whatever. Yeah. I think when we get our report, because we get reports back, commercial value, I think it was like $4.3 million. Yes. Yep. In commercial value. Yep. If I was to buy ads at that time for that amount of time, I remember that, back in the day when we had the race team tied in with Alan Jones. Yeah. And when he was at that stage racing with Glenn Seaton's team with Peter Jackson sponsorship. Yep. And I remember him talking about that they literally had someone that would sit in front of the television with a stopwatch and go click, 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 click. And every time the brand was on TV.
And they literally then sat down and said, one, we're not allowed to legally advertise cigarettes on television. Cool. But if we were able to, at the relevant cost, at that equates to, and there was someone that literally calculated it, and they went, as long as it's returning better value than what we're putting into it. Absolutely. And it was literally that straightforward for them. So
what was kind of cool too, we got the report from the NBL, audience viewership on TV was up 46% this year.
Is that right?
On every other season. Huge.
What do they attribute that to?
I honestly think there's a lot of hype around basketball at the moment. Yeah, for some reason. I don't know. Did I just jag the right time to come on?
Is that maybe when you think about the way that, Formula One has blown up off of the drivers, the Netflix thing. Well, because you had the
Last Dance.
So that. So that was huge, right?
Had a Kobe version coming out of that now. I didn't even realize. Do you know there's one for golf?
Yes.
And
it's around the live
tour, right? So, but Liv has come in, turned golf upside down, and gone completely against what golf stands for traditionally.
Yep.
And
get rid of the stuffiness.
And you got people going this way, people going this way. Some people are following the money. Get on them. I think there's this major shakeup. But like someone told me, like, oh, there's a doco on golf, and I'm like, that'd be boring as piss.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's actually
it shows you.
And I'm like,
scenes.
yeah, and like the amount of people with the Drive to Survive Netflix series around the Formula One, like their audience has, like, that was like
blown up.
I just no, like now they're Vegas, Miami, like you can so see where the commercial value is going for. But like
America, like
absolutely,
ultimately it's America,
big audience. Sure. But like I don't know, man. I just think there's so much hype around. Like even today, I'm wearing a Hornets, I'm wearing a Grizzlies. Like most of my what I wear outside of work is basketball gear. Yeah, but I don't know. I just think we jagged the right time coming in. Yeah. With the Bullets where they get all this hype, and I got on early, good value. Yeah. What that value looks like in 3 years' time depends on their performance, I'm guessing. Yeah. But I think it's just opened up.
If all of a sudden they turn it around and start winning, like there's going to be a bunch of people jump on, and that's where, in a lot of ways, I mean, I guess like, look, think about, the Gary V Jets thing, and where he talks about the idea that I want to get on board while they suck.
Yeah, well,
because they're to be part of the rise to the top. Yeah. And then when the bandwagon people come and the recognition and stuff that comes along with that association, if you can pull it off, where you get on board at the bottom of the stairs, so to speak. And
well, that's where we are. Like we finished. I think it was 8th. We finished 9th. No, finished 9th both years now. But it's, I don't know. So that's how that come about, man.
Yep. That's cool.
It's a very different podcast.
Yep, absolutely.
And we didn't even talk one bit real estate.
Well, now, were we going to? No, let's not. There'll be plenty of time for that.
People must be waiting for the end of this game. Where's the hat? What are we talking about? So, no, there is more to life than just real estate.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, there you go. We'll cut it off there. So there's another episode of the Give Me 5 podcast. I'm your host, Chris Gilmour.
Thanks for watching. See you next time.